I have been having inverter problems, and I'm talking about solar inverters. Solar is one of the best ways to earn passive income by setting up a solar farm. And when I say solar farm, it can be a little solar farm, just like you can have a big solar farm, just like people run one Bitcoin miner at their house, or they build multi-million-dollar Bitcoin mining farms running thousands of machines. And where this breaks down is exactly how are you going to do it, right? You could be grid tie. You could be only running when the sun's up. You could be using this electricity to just offset your bills, everything you use at home, charging your car, Milwaukee battery tools, whatever. If you don't have some sort of power purchase agreement, some ability where your power company will buy your power from you, you can always just say, well, then f*** you, I'm going to run a Bitcoin miner, right? Use up that energy I'm making myself, and then I'll be earning and stacking Bitcoin. Or if I want nothing to do with that, I can just go ahead and sell that Bitcoin for dollars, which have been rapidly losing their purchasing power over the last, really forever, but especially hyperinflation the last several years. But it's transitory. Somebody told me that. Hey.
Oh, hi.
What are you doing July 21st to 23rd? I thought you'd say that. Heading down to Mining Disrupt. They're back in Miami, Florida, baby. It's the biggest Bitcoin crypto mining conference in the world. Use our link to not only buy a ticket, but to get a discount. Anyway, I've been having inverter problems, and there's a lot of different things you can do here and different ways you can go, but here's my situation. I'm grid tied, banking it 1-to-1. Okay, so there's no batteries in my equation, at least at the moment. I will add some batteries down the road, but that's more of a passion project and less of an investment. So I'm grid tied. The grid's my bank. Also, I do not have three-phase electricity available, and I have sunk cost on all my single-phase infrastructure out here because I've built my own Bitcoin crypto mining farm over the last several years. So I'm basically building a commercial single-phase solar farm, and I've been face deep in the first phase of it. I'm racking solar panels on the ground with integral racks. I've got Jinko 590s, I've got generic 630s. I'm talking about the wattage of those panels, and I had an order of 720 watt panels that basically got freaking caught. Yeah, wow. Happy Tuesday. Never a dull day here. So originally I had talked to Todd at NC Solar, and he sold me some Hoymile microinverters. And I've been working on this project for a long time. I've changed direction and goals and parts several times along the way. Speaking of along the way, I had the opportunity to buy 10 GrowWatt inverters from Signature Solar for basically half off. They are the 11.4 kilowatt ones. And then finally, based on how I was doing things and the relative design and direction of everything, I said, I'm going to get these Solus 16 kilowatt single phase inverters. They're supposed to be a great brand. They're supposed to be great software. They've got smaller models if I wanted to utilize them for whatever reason. But generally, I'm taking a lot of panels and I'm hooking them up. So there's a lot to this, but let's kind of speed run these specs. Solus, 16 kilowatt string inverter. GrowWatt, 11.4 kilowatt string inverter. Hoymiles, 2000 watt microinverter. It's basically 4 500 watt microinverters shoved into a box. MPPTs, right? Hoymiles running it backwards now, 4. So run 1 microinverter per panel out of one box, 4 MPPTs. It only connects to one thing is sort of the gist of it. GrowWatt, 4 strings. Solus, 3 strings. I need to stop going back and forth. I'm reading left to right, right to left. You can see this graph on screen. You can see the efficiency and the weight. Oh my gosh, I need to freaking hit the gym to be picking up these Solus things. Oh my, like 145 pounds? Dude, the GrowWatts are heavy. They're hard to wield. And you got this freaking heat sink digging into your hands on the back. To keep it simple, I'm just going to focus on my phase 1 here. Let's just call it 402 600 watt solar panels. It's not quite this, but I'm moving to 600 watts moving forward. If nothing else, be good enough, rough enough. I have to make some tweaks along the way. This is a 241 kilowatt array, and I am backfeeding into a 800 amp single phase US residential type, that means technically commercial, electricity service. It's very likely that you've got a 400 amp electric service at your home, or maybe even at your business, or if you have like a detached garage, office type thing. You can literally take everything I'm doing and cut it in half and apply it to yourself. Consult a professional. 72 HL4 BDV. Let's start with the Solus 16 kilowatt. We'll break down pricing and everything like that, but let's just look at the technical numbers, the data here. So if we took Solus 16 kilowatt, we could do 10 inverters. There's a few ways to go about this, but we could go 10 inverters, 40 panels total, split into 6 strings. If we use 6 strings, we could put 6 or 7 panels on each of them. We'd parallel 2 strings into each of the 3 MPPTs. This would result in 2 strings at 29.56 amps under a slight bump on bifacial conditions. There is a 40 amperage limit per MPPT. A 7 panel string has a VOC of 373, safely under the typical 600 V or voltage limit there. This is a lot of wiring though. I would be more interested in condensing some of these strings, running a bit more panels, getting to a higher VOC, but still leaving some headroom there. For example, running 9 panels per string. Each string is more labor, more wiring, and there's an optimum efficiency zone. That's the gist of that one. We look at the grow watt inverters. It recommends 11 inverters, 36 panels split into 4 strings, 1 string per MPPT, unable to parallel on this, maximum input of 13.5 MPPT. The Jinko 600 watts basically hit that out of the box. It's bifacial. Some of these are on painted white concrete. The amperage on these is going to go up. They're going to clip. There will be much less efficiency here. But even utilizing like that 9 panel string and having clipping going on, looking at these panels and these inverters, we'd be around a 480 voltage for the VOC, right? And that's a critical thing in this whole scenario. Enter Hoy miles and the 2000 watt inverters. We would need 101 of them here. It's very simple. You plug a Jinko panel into an MPPT on a Hoy mile, right? And so you basically plug 4 panels in. They have a 16 amperage input, taking the 13.5 out of the box, applying some bifacial factor, right? More like 15 amps estimated. I mean, this is all just theoretical stuff. It's within its limit. Voltage coming in, or the VOC at 53, safe under that 65 V zone. There's a lot of ways to go about this. I'm not saying that this is perfect, but this is one example of how to utilize these parts. It's also not taking into account a few things. I'll explain a bit more about that. But if you look at pricing, if you wanted to buy 10 or 11 of these grow watts, you'd be looking at around $20,000. I got these for under $10,000 delivered to me. We look at the Solus inverters. These cost much more. They go for well over $4,000 plus shipping. I have procured these for $2,200, I think, delivered to me. So essentially half off through Alibaba direct China vendor sourcing there, instead of using like a US reseller. Even when I went to China for the grow watt 11.4 kilowatt specific model, the pricing was never that novel after adding in shipping and tariff fees. So you take the Hoy miles, right? And if we needed 101 of those, that would be a little bit over $30,000. You'll probably pay more, closer to $40,000 by the time unless you can find some deal. Remember, you've also got freight shipping on top of whatever you think you're buying this stuff for normally, which adds several $1,000s. And so ultimately with the Solus, I'm getting in at almost the lowest price point. Growatt comes in at a lower price point, especially in my scenario, but with the Solus, I'm able to do more for less. I'm saving on labor, I'm saving on wiring, and I may be doing most of the labor myself, or as much as I can, but you know, I'm still just trying to save my freaking life and time and not be building out a solar farm for the next 29 years. I want to get this stuff on. I want to start generating a return on investment. So, you know, there's so many factors. There's so many factors. One of our team members here at VoskCoin is Joel. Joel, say hi. He's a fucking stud, an incredible video editor, the brains behind sololuck.com, and a fellow anime enjoyer. Me and him have been talking Inverter shop for a while now. He recommends 8 on the Solus. I recommend 9, but he's putting in a bigger safety buffer, and the point is that there's so many different ways to do this. It's kind of overwhelming. He runs some solar stuff himself. I'm trying to run solar stuff as well, and ultimately it's just overwhelming. Once you figure out what part you're using, you've got to dig in and look at the wiring, right, to your load centers or your disconnects, and really that just comes down to distance and amperage, and you don't want to have too much voltage loss along the way. But that starts talking AC power, right? Alternating current, which is basically like the power running around your house. Solar and everything on that side is DC, right? Direct current. It's a whole different freaking ball game. But they've got to sync up together to get you or me or us where we want to go. When it comes to my specific scenario, I'm trying to get 10 Solus inverters on each of my electrical services maxed out, so they're running backfeed of about 67 amps, right? So that'd be 670 amps, which is within a safe tolerance of an 800 amp electrical service, and just essentially trying to hook up as much solar as I possibly can. What I'm doing is essentially called overpaneling, right? Overpaneling means you have more solar panels, you produce more power longer, but there's a higher capital expenditure to do this. You also clip more. With the clipping, right, you have wasted power, which also turns into heat, which can bog your systems down. And if you oversize too much, or you don't have decent cooling and everything, you can burn out your gear sooner than later. The inverters are the heart of your operation. You can lose a couple panels, but if you lose your inverter, you've got a lot of stuff going down. Looking at the DC to AC ratios here, the max allowed ratio on the Solus is 1.6 to 1, right? So if I took this scenario, I'd be at a 1.51 to 1. It would be a 241.2 kilowatt DC to a 160 kilowatt AC, within the manufacturer's limits. And the industry talk is that Solus is very well designed, high quality. We'll see. I'll let you know here on the channel long-term updates. And it can do more than it's rated for, and even long-term. Again, we'll see. The Growatts have an even higher allowed ratio. They have a dubious reputation in the industry. They're like good bang for buck, but not touted as being awesome quality. But to be honest, I don't hear that many horror stories either, and I think some of their bad rep was from bad or firmware earlier in their product life cycles. But anyway, their max ratio is 2 to 1. Looking at this equation here, I would have a 1.92 to 1 with the string example we talked about. This is pushing this product to its limit. I don't think this is the best route, but it's apparently within spec. The Hoy miles come in much lower, 1.2 to 1 DC AC ratio there. These have a max recommendation of 670 watts, which is a ratio of 1.35 to 1, right? Because these are like one inverter, microinverter to one panel. It's a pretty simple equation there. When it comes to what is the best DC AC rating normally in solar, the industry typically recommends a 1.1 to 1.3 ratio, which puts you at a 1.2 ratio rule of thumb average. So there's a lot to this, and in some ways I've only scratched the surface. My final verdict on exactly what I'm doing and how I will record and edit and upload here on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. I'm Vosk. I appreciate you tuning in. This is our CSO, our Chief Solar Officer, Tails. We're building a solar farm, and we're gonna use it to sell power to the scammy electric company, and we're gonna use it to mine some Bitcoin. So stick with me. The best is yet to come. I don't know, or something cheesy that sounds like FOMO about the future. Good luck. Maybe to me too, and goodbye.